Hey guys, my name is Matt and this is my wife Miriam, and we're down here at our shop, High Life Auto in Fort Madison, Iowa. Guys, if you haven't noticed, things have just gotten crazy out there right now.
It's a little bit nuts.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but I love eating me some steak, and the price of cows are ridiculous. Like, you can't go and buy a steak now unless you got at least like 20 bucks for a decent steak.
Well, I mean, not even steak. I mean, just your cheap man steak, your hamburger, all of that stuff. It's more expensive than
going up.
Bacon is like $7 a pound.
We had to put a garage door in, and the price of 2x4s, plywood, stuff like that has gone absolutely crazy. Groceries are going up, lumber's going up, everything is going up right now.
Gas is going up.
And the car business is no different. And that's something we wanted to talk to you guys about because we get people that ask us all the time, how's business going? And so we just wanted to explain to you a little bit about what's going on in our world. If you guys don't know, what we do as a business, or what we like to specialize in, is we try to sell cars $3,000 and less. I mean, that doesn't mean every car is going to be under $3,000. We do sell other things.
Few.
I mean, I like my Jeep Wranglers, so we got a couple
And we
higher
got a
dollar
fire
things.
truck and a rock wall,
Yeah.
But most of what we do, we like to stay within the budget for like people who need cars for their kids, people who need a car to get back and forth to work, that kind of stuff.
Our big concept is we want to sell need-based products. We don't want to sell the wants that people want in life. We want to sell the things they need. And we realize going to work, getting to the hospital, doctor's appointments, all those things, getting to school, those things are needs that you have to have. And with the prices going up, the car business is absolutely no different. And one thing that we're seeing, and I'm sure you guys have seen in the news, is new car dealers are struggling right now. They are struggling to just get inventory. You've heard of the chip shortage?
Yeah, they had that whole snafu. And from what I understand, it was like a tiny little chip, but without that chip, the truck was no good.
Right, and so there's the chip shortage. You got, I've heard truck drivers are short right now. Not short, but like shortage of truck drivers.
But your mom told us last night, she said for every 7 trucks, there's only 2 truck drivers.
Yeah.
And so if you go to the grocery store, like there are different parts of the aisles that are just empty.
But on the new car dealer side of things, what's happening is their lots are low right now. And we were just driving through Quincy, and one dealer had cars like spaced 4 cars apart. The next dealer had them spaced like 2 cars apart. And point being is that new car dealers don't have new cars. When the new car dealers don't have the new cars to sell, they heavily rely on their used car sales. And when they're relying on their used car sales, that means they're sending less and less cars to the auction. And one thing that I've noticed in the last 2 years is that the dealers at the auction, they're new. We have a bunch of rookies or a bunch of new people that are coming to the auction that are getting into the business.
Well, last year when we had the stimulus, like the government was just throwing out money. And so there were a lot of people that chose, hey, now's a good time to jump into business because I got some capital. A lot of people jumped into the car selling business.
And that was when the prices of cars really started going up. Just like we were talking about everywhere else, the prices of cars started going up. And the auction that we go to, typically they have around, on a good night, they'd have about 200 cars. On most nights, I'd say they have about 150. And there would be, let's just throw out the number, like 75 dealers there fighting for those cars. And so we would, we went from that to now, there's been nights where they only had like maybe 50 cars. I would say on average they have about 100 right now, but there are some nights they had lower than 50 cars. And I would say the amount of
dealers,
the amount of dealers probably went up to about that 125 or even more. And so we have even more people fighting for these cars, which is just driving the prices higher and higher. And since the new car shortage and the prices have ever went up, used car dealers are low on inventory. And where we normally carry about 80 cars, we have probably about...
I think we have 60 to 65 right now.
60 to 65, which is pretty good for us, but it's low. And when dealers get low and their sales get low, they naturally think that, well, I need more cars. If I had more cars, my sales would go up. So they're still going to the auction and they're still trying to buy cars. And when there's more competition, the prices just keep going up and up and up. And so what the whole point of me bringing this up is that we get customers come in probably once a day almost saying, what do you have for
$500?
$500. It's like the magical car dealer number. Everybody wants a $500 car. Naturally, when you're looking for a car, you want a $500 car, but you in reality want about a $5,000 car. You want it to look good, you want it to be no rust, you want low miles, you want it to run and drive good, but at $500 you're pretty much getting scrap metal.
Even if you're very base and you want a $500 car, you're at least looking for reliability. even a $500 car right now, you don't have reliability.
It's scrap metal.
Right now, our $500 car, the only $500 car we have,
It's scrap metal.
needs a transmission. Yeah.
Scrap metal. I mean,
So-
if you tear down a car, you take the battery out, the cat's out, the wheels off, stuff like that, a car's going to bring about $500 scrap. And so
If you're lucky.
dealers know that, and dealers know that if they're going to be able to scrap it for $500, they're not going to be able to sell a reliable car for $500. And so what we have seen is like the cars that we were selling in 2019 for $500 are literally selling at the auction now for about $1,000. And so the same exact car has like doubled in price. And so a lot of times I think what's going through our customers' head is they come in and they ask for the cheapest car, and we tell them, and they're like, that's high life. They're trying to pull one over on us and trying to rip us off. They know the economy's bad, and so they're just trying to rip us off. But
go to any dealer right now.
yeah,
And I mean, and if you look at our website has all of our prices on it. If you look at our website and other dealers, we are still most of the time cheaper than them. But that's just because that's the way we do business. But everywhere prices are higher.
prices have jumped everywhere, and we really encourage you to shop around because we want to prove to you that we want to have the best prices. The biggest, our model or our mission statement, whatever you want to call it, is to put customers in a better place. And I've always been told that people aren't going back to horse and buggies, that they're going to keep on driving cars. And so we're trying to put customers in a better place. But right now, guys, car prices are just through the roof. And I get it. I mean, we completely survive and we live off of you guys buying cars from us.
So
And
I'd like to tell you, hey, come in and buy a car from us. But in reality, I have to say, if you don't need one right now, don't buy one right now.
Yeah, the prices are high, and it's not just us; it's just everywhere. But if you need to buy now, I do believe that we do have some of the cheapest prices in the area, and we want you to shop around because maybe we don't. But I really believe we have the cheapest prices, and they're still high. But here's the deal: I don't know that anything's changing, because I said this starting last summer. I'm like, oh, we need to start buying a bunch of cars because the price is going to drop, and we're going to be able to get a full lot of cheap cars. And here we are, like a year later, and prices are still high. So this might just be the new norm. I mean,
which kind of sucks. Like,
yeah.
I'm one of those back row Baptists that's just like, I don't like change. Like, this is my jam right here.
So like, if you had $100 in the bank last year, that $100 is worth even less this year because you can't buy near as much with it. Where you used to buy maybe 50 pounds of hamburger last year, now you can only buy maybe 10 pounds of hamburger this year. That dollar is just not worth nearly as much as it used to be, and that hasn't changed in the car market either. It is just as bad there. And so I guess what we're trying to tell you guys and explain to you is that if you're looking for a cheap car, like minimum, you need to have at least $1,000. I mean, unless you're wanting to work on stuff, do repairs, stuff like that, $1,000 is pretty much the bottom of the barrel.
But if you have the capability of working on stuff, like, you can get
You can
pretty
get
good
those
deals.
scrap cars. Like, if you can buy a scrap car for $500 or somewhere around there, and you can fix it if it needs minor work or even if it needs bigger work, and you can do that, that's where it's at right now. Because people
Right.
don't like to do work, people don't like to do repairs, that kind of thing. And so that's where the best deals are. But I understand we have a lot of moms out there. We have a lot of people that are working. We have a lot of people that just aren't really maybe qualified or know how to do that kind of work, which myself included. I'm not a mechanic by any means. And we need stuff that runs and drives. And if that's what you're looking for, like I said, the 2019 $500 car is now probably $1,000. But I have noticed that when you get up to that $2,000 to $3,000 things haven't quite doubled, but they've just went up.
They've gone up a little bit.
That $2,000 car is maybe worth about $2,500 to $3,000 now. It hasn't jumped up to $4,000, but the future, we don't know. You might want to buy a car right now because this could be getting worse and worse as we're talking. And that's the bad thing of talking about the future, is we just don't know. It might be getting worse. They might throw even more stimuluses out there and cause that dollar to be worth less and less. And if the dollar's worth less, cars are worth more. Lumber's worth more. Food is worth more. And I know that really just sucks for you, our customer, and that's why we're telling you what Miriam said. If you can afford to not buy right now, and I mean, this hurts. This is not good for business at all. But if you can afford not to buy a car, don't do it.
Yeah, most businesses don't get on there like, hey, don't buy a car right now. Not when that's how we pay our bills, but
yeah, we've been kind of living off the savings account, and it's running dry. So like, we want to tell you guys, please buy a car from us. But in all reality, But who knows? Like I said, maybe the car market keeps going up, and now
Maybe
is the
now
time
is
to
a good
buy.
time. We don't know. But our goal, at the very heart of it, and if anyone who knows us, they know our entire goal is to put people in a better place. Whether that means getting you in a cheap car now, or helping you make a decision not to buy a cheap car now and to save up for a better car, or whatever it is, we want to help put you in a better place, not put you in a loan that you're going to be buried under when you lose your job, or whatever it is. We're trying
And I want to
help.
kind of
That's our
just,
heart.
I want to end with this and just tell you, when you come in, if you're looking for a car, just be honest with us, okay? That's one thing we pride ourselves in, is being honest with you guys. So we just need you to be honest with us. If you're shopping with $1,000, just be straight with us. We'll tell you everything we know. If it's a really pretty, newer, nicer looking car and it's around $1,000, read the description. There's probably something going on with it, and we're going to tell you everything we know. We're going to sell those cars that need repairs cheaper, but we're going to tell you that you're going to need to know what you're doing, and that's where we need you to be honest with us, because sometimes customers shop with their eyes and they bite off more than they can chew, and they like that fancy, nice looking car when in all reality they don't have the mechanical ability to fix it. So shoot straight with us.
If you have mechanical ability, tell us you have it. If you don't,
Be honest with us.
that's fine.
We want to put you in a better place, and so it's one of those things where if you bite off more than you can chew, it's going to look bad on us, because they're going to be like, well, they sold us a piece of crap. Well, yeah, it was a piece of crap. That's why we have it so cheap.
And
but
that's why we sold it to someone who said,
problem
like,
right
hey,
now-
I'm a mechanic. I know how to fix it.
the problem is right now is when we sell things cheap right now, customers are looking at it and saying, well, that's high. But that's what we're trying to explain to you, is the new cheap is about double what you used to be paying when you were buying cars a year ago. And so it's just a new norm out there, guys. So we just wanted to come to you today and just talk to you about the changes that are in the market. It's not just the $3,000 and under, it's the entire industry. All the way up to new car dealers are struggling with this too. And there's just a lot of changes. So feel free to drop some comments down below. And we want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think the future is going to look like? Do you guys think the car prices are going to keep going up? Do you think they're going to start going back down? Is now the time to buy? Is now the time to wait? Is fixing cars good? Is it better to get reliable? We want to hear from you. Guys, my name is Matt. This is my wife, Miriam. We're down here at High Life Auto in Fort Madison, Iowa. Make sure you check our website.
www.highlifeauto.com.
All the prices, description, details, pictures, and videos are all on there. We do our absolute best to inform you and give you all the information we possibly can, but then we rely on you 100% to make sure you know what you're looking for and make sure you can handle what you're getting, because cars, they suck. They're going to need repairs.
Said it before, we'll say it every time.
Every car is junk. It's just a piece of metal that you got to keep together, and glue and duct tape sometimes just don't hold it, right?
That's why you have zip ties and Flex Seal.
Hey, there you go. Facebook, YouTube, we love you. Have a great weekend.